Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey everyone, my name's Cal, and I wanted to start a new kind of web series, or I mean just like a video series on this YouTube channel, with just me talking about trans things. So when I was 13, I came out as gay, and there was one YouTuber who was like super instrumental to me figuring out, what it meant to be gay, how to, I guess, grow up as gay in a smaller town, and her name is Jenna Ann. I just want to give her a shout out because she was literally the sole reason why I think I'm doing this, and like how I've become the person I am when I came out as gay. So Jenna Ann is also known as Lesbian Answers on YouTube.
Hello everyone, I will be the lesbian giving you the answers.
And you can check out her channel if you were interested in seeing who my mentor was, or I guess like the person that I looked up to was growing up. So a little bit a while ago, I asked on Instagram if there were any questions. And so the first one here is from someone who has asked to be anonymous, and their topic that they want me to talk about is dysphoria. So I guess what the first question here is, what is dysphoria? So if we go online and we type in what is dysphoria, it's a noun. It is a state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. So that's what dysphoria is, but if you look into what gender dysphoria is, it has to do specifically with your gender. That can mean something different for every single person. For me, when I don't feel like I have a flat chest, I get gender dysphoria. When someone dead names me, uses my birth given name, misgenders me, I get gender dysphoria. If I put on a dress, I will most likely get gender dysphoria. That will probably trigger it. It's different for everyone. My menstrual cycle has never triggered dysphoria for me, but I know that a lot of people do struggle with that. So in summary, gender dysphoria is a medical term that trans people can experience, don't necessarily experience, but a lot of the time trans people do experience gender dysphoria. It is a deep dissatisfaction and discomfort with your biological sex. So since it's a medical condition, gender dysphoria can also play into if you go on to HRT. HRT is hormone replacement therapy. So if you're thinking of physically transitioning, if you want to go on estrogen, hormone blockers, testosterone, gender dysphoria may be one of the things that you need to have in order to be prescribed some kind of hormone. This is going to be different in every single place that you are in. Particularly for me, I am located in Ontario, Canada, and I am near Toronto. For my medical system, I needed to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria in order to get on testosterone. I just want to say that I still do get gender dysphoria despite being on testosterone, despite having passing privilege. Passing privilege is essentially having the privilege of looking like a cis person in society. Now I don't get discriminated against for looking trans. Like that's just like a weird thing. But I mean, like you can never tell if someone's trans or not based on how they look. But being pre-T, obviously I would get misgendered more. I would get people asking, hey, are you a boy or a girl? I mean, that stuff doesn't really happen to me on a daily basis anymore. If you are an ally who's watching this, or someone who wants to be more educated on the trans community, please just take note that gender dysphoria can come out of anything. Just be aware that just because I haven't listed it in this video doesn't mean that it's going to be comfortable for every other person that you meet. Other things that can trigger gender dysphoria for other people or other people in the trans community are voice changes, the amount of hair that you have on your body, height, name, pronoun, I've already said, chest related things. So just take note of when you're making comments like that, or honestly, the safest way to go about it is just like not making those comments overall, but just being aware of it helps a lot. Finally, ways to combat gender dysphoria. Because gender dysphoria can mean different things for different people, or at least get triggered and I guess solved by different things for different people, it's really hard to put your finger on like one thing that can help gender dysphoria. So I can really only speak to my experience and what I've heard. For me, going on testosterone, going on hormone replacement therapy, HRT, has helped immensely with gender dysphoria. I'll make another video on different changes that have happened to my body being on testosterone, but It has made such a big difference being on testosterone. I you know, it's a lot easier to get through the day, but I'm aware that not everyone has the privilege of going on testosterone or going on hormones, hormone blockers, etc. So things that helped me pre-T was dressing up the way that I want to. Even to this day, like, for example, if you are FTM, so that means female to male, so if you're transitioning from a biological female to a male or more masculine individual, or you're a trans guy, button-up shirts are really, really incredible for that kind of stuff. Backwards caps, anything that will make you feel more masculine. I feel pretty flat having a button-up shirt. It's really great because it almost like covers up your curves and such if you're uncomfortable with those. Doing activities that feel more to you and who you want to become help. Obviously, gender is so complicated in the sense that it has been socially constructed. So even for me to say like these activities are more masculine and these activities are more feminine, like I feel like I can't even like really say that because gender doesn't actually exist when it comes down to the idea that like boys are supposed to like blue. Like that is something that society has told us that is not real. It's really, really hard to put gender in a box and put activities in a box and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to tell you what is going to make you feel better regarding activities. I know for me, and this is very specific to me, going to the gym helped a lot with gender dysphoria because I could work on my overall physique. I felt like I could validate myself when I went to the gym. So that was one really big thing that helped me when I was having gender dysphoria. Surrounding yourself with a support group and having people who maybe not necessarily get it in the way that they fully understand. Like maybe your friend group isn't trans. My friend group is all cis women and they're great. But people who just can support you, can be there to validate you, reassure you. Honestly, just like sit out the gender dysphoria with you. You know, the thing about gender dysphoria is that you don't get to choose it. There isn't gonna always be a way to solve it or fix it. And just having people who can be there to support you when you honestly don't feel like leaving the house, when you don't want to get out of bed because the gender dysphoria is just weighing a lot on you. The people that I have in my life, whether they're close or further out, like I'm really, really lucky to have a support system that has just been so good with asking questions and not assuming that I'm comfortable with one thing or the other. You know, checking what I have on my social media pages, like what pronouns I want to use, when I want to be called. I post a lot about that kind of stuff on there, so them just educating themselves is like really, really great. If your gender dysphoria is coming a lot from your voice, I would recommend looking into voice therapy stuff on YouTube. That's what I did before I went on testosterone. There were certain just like exercises that I could do to help deepen my voice, similar to how like singers can increase their range if they practice enough and they do like exercises and such, and you can like almost like, I don't know if it's like stretching your vocal cords or what it is, but if you want to check out what's online for different voice therapies, I would definitely recommend that. I could get my voice pretty deep already before going on testosterone, and then if you do in the future go on hormones or hormone blockers and etc., then that can like almost like get you like a head start. I guess this like kind of underlines all of the other points that I just gave, but you know, locking yourself in your room and just being you. Sometimes like looking in the mirror doesn't always help, but like if you're not in like a supportive household or like a supportive, you know, environment overall, locking yourself in your room and like putting on music that makes you feel like you, or like you feel like it understands you, and then dressing up the way that you want to, and then doing just being you in a private setting where no one can judge you is like, for me, totally liberating. Like I would recommend it to anyone who needs to just like have like a moment with themselves and just be like, this is me and this is my safe space, and I'm just gonna like do me for like 15 minutes and then continue figuring out what the heck I'm doing with my life. Overall, with dysphoria, it's really hard to say what's gonna help you, and you know that you just gotta find out by experimenting. A lot of experimentation happens when you are trans because you're just trying to figure out what makes you feel most comfortable in this world. And you know, try different things, try different activities, talk to people online. The online communities are super, super helpful. I would recommend checking out Reddit, check out YouTube. There's a really strong trans community on there. And finally, just to wrap all this up, sometimes it helps gender dysphoria if you go out for a walk, if you go out and hang with friends to try to get your mind off of it, and other times you might just have to stay in bed and just ride it out and watch a movie or take a hot bath. And honestly, like, gender dysphoria is super, super crappy. And I probably should have started that video with this, but gender dysphoria is, like, really not fun. If you are experiencing gender dysphoria, know that my heart goes out to you, especially as someone who is on testosterone now and, you know, have the privilege of having significantly less gender dysphoria. I remember what it would be like being pre-T and just having gender dysphoria, like, a lot of the time. I remember having to change my outfit like 4 or 5 times, like, before leaving the house some days because of just how bad the dysphoria was. And if you do have any questions, leave them down below. Obviously, I would love to help out wherever I can. Don't be afraid to, you know, reach out to your friends, reach out to me, reach out to people in the community. There are people who want to help out here. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm really, really thankful that I can be at a place in my life where I can do this for others, and if this helps one person, then I've, like, already done my job. But really, if you have any questions, message me. My Twitter handles and all that stuff is over here in the corner here, or here somewhere. But yeah, message me, follow me, check out my socials, and I hope that this web series and these videos help you out as much as videos in the past have helped me. Great. Yeah. Have a great day wherever you are. Lots of love, lots of everything, sunshines and rainbows and sun, and that's all for now. See you. My camera stopped, like, straight up in the middle of that, and that was, like, really weird. I have 30 minutes of footage that I need to sift through. I literally cannot believe it. I just talk and talk and talk and talk, and it's just like blah. Okay, I'm gonna stop this now. Peace out. Bow!